Ready then? All right, well, you're on. Hello, everybody. Grant Chapman here with Leilani. We're about to get started with our Zoom. I'm over at Disney World. We're about to go in the Haunted Mansion. So I'm going to let you guys get into it. Lei, thank you so much for running the call. Have a great one.
All right. Thanks, Grant. Enjoy the ride and jump on later so you can tell us about how much you screamed on that ride. I love it. That's so cool that you're at Disney World.
Yeah, we're about to get in here.
Awesome. Sorry, guys. Let me just set up a little real quick. All right, cool. All righty. How's everybody doing today? It's Wednesday. Can you guys hear me out there? Everybody doing good? Just wait for maybe a couple more people to jump on. Denise, you're doing good. Awesome. So yeah, so Grant is at Disney World. He's about to jump on a ride, as he mentioned. So I'm just going to be covering the call today, and it's probably going to be a fairly quick call. I mean, I don't want to keep anybody any longer than we need to. But Wednesday's call is typically about sales, right? And I myself, I am not a salesperson. I do not consider myself to be a salesperson. Like Grant actually studied sales and did all of that. So his background is in sales and marketing. For me, I'm Leilani. I'm on the island of Kauai. I'm a licensed esthetician. I've been doing aesthetics since 2007, had my own business since 2008. And I've been actually using Nu Skin products for over about a decade now. Just a little background about myself, right? And so I've been using the products in my services, doing facials. Some of my favorite products that I've been utilizing in my services are the Cleanse and Tone. I also love the 180 cleanser. Also have been using the, what's it called? Marine Mud Mask. That's one that I've been using for the longest now. And has anybody tried all of those or have any favorites among the ones that I listed so far? Denise, have you tried them all? The LumiSpa, yeah. So you're born in the LumiSpa generation within the Nu Skin world. And I love that because now that we have a lot more technology, it's just so much more exciting, right? Got so much more to advancements and so much more that we can share with our clients nowadays. And so I'm just going to get to it. I'm going to jump into something that, of course, I'm still learning a lot about, and I would love to hear about what you folks have been doing also, if you'd like to share later. But as I was mentioning, I've been using the products for over a decade now in my services and my spa setting. And so now it's a little different for me because now we do have technology and I have been able to retail a lot of products. I still do spa parties. So just wanted to throw that out there to let you guys know that just because I have a license, it doesn't mean that you can't do what I do. You know what I mean? And so what I mean by that is I would love to share what worked for me. And hopefully you can kind of take what you learn or try some new things in your business. And hopefully that can kind of propel you in the right direction in case you're wondering like where to start, especially if you're new, right? It's like, where do you start? And how do you begin, especially if you feel like you don't have the experience? So yeah, sales. First of all, it's really important to actually know what you're promoting, right? And so a lot of times, like we as products or brand affiliates, like we need to become a product of the product, which I believe is super important because it's hard to promote something that you haven't used before. Yeah, and so it doesn't typically work that way. You have to use a product in order to have your own experience. That way you can share your testimonials with other people. And for me, that's what I find that works best, is sharing my own testimony. And how do you have that? Is by using the products, right? And so that's first and foremost. Use a product, have some knowledge and some background about what you're promoting, whether it's a Lumi Spa or if it's Mud Mask. Have like a few like in your toolbox, have some basic knowledge about the product so that you can kind of explain like the benefits, right? And how it actually will help to problem solve for your client or your customer. Because let's just put it this way, our clients have a problem, whether it's with their skin or with their health or anti-aging, acne, right? And we are the professionals as far as knowing the product, knowing the company, and actually knowing what we're promoting, right? Through our own testimonials. And so just understanding, first of all, what the problem might be that the client might have, right? So with any spa party or any event that I do, that's kind of the first question that I asked. Remember, I'm not a salesperson. I'm not trying to like push any sales on anybody. However, I come from the background of like, how can I help you to solve the problem that you have, right? Utilizing the products that we have and that we know that works. So identifying, what their needs are is what I typically will do. And I'll ask them, I'm like, so if I'm talking about skincare, I'll ask them, do you have any skin concerns? Or tell me what your top 3 skin concerns are, because believe it or not, us women, men, whoever you are, we all have concerns about our skin. And we are the most critical people, right, of our own skin and selves for that matter. And so asking what their problem is or their concerns are will give us a general idea of, which direction we can go into. So yeah, understanding your product and the service. Also, identifying, when I do events, I want to identify who my target audience is, so that I can actually know if I'm going to promote more ageLOC products or if I'm going to bring more Nutricential line, which is great for more the teens and the youthful, more younger age groups. Because as we know, the ageLOC technology is amazing for anti-aging. But I don't think I would start with selling ageLOC like pearls, for example, to somebody who's like 12 years old or in their teens, right? So I would look to more so of the Nutricential line, since that's more age appropriate for them. And then also understanding not just, that your target audience, yes, you're identifying what their needs are, their pain points are, and what their preferences are, so that's always a good thing to know as well, because maybe they've tried everything and it didn't work for them, which is a lot of times the case when clients come to me. They're always like, I've tried everything and nothing works. And so I try to understand what they're dealing with, how long they've been dealing with this problem, because, when you're able to understand your client or your customer's pain point, then you can actually help them to problem solve on their own, and also help them to have more of an informed choice, but also, helping them to know that, hey, there's actually a solution. Like, I have a solution for you. And also getting to know their preferences, because maybe they're older, maybe they don't have time to use a Lumi Spa, but they want anti-aging results, right? And so knowing when to promote or demo the Lumi Spa, and also maybe even the facial spa. So on that case, like, there's always ways that you can upsell as well, and just give recommendations that will help their needs or what their skin goals are. And feel free to stop me at any time. If anybody wants more explanation or any clarification, just please, let me know. If you have any questions too, I would love that if you can put in the chat box as well. Hi, Manny. I see Manny just jumped on. So just wanted to catch you up, Manny. Grant is actually at Disney World right now. I'm just covering his call for the moment. He jumped on a ride, the haunted house ride. So he just literally jumped on, but he may be jumping on again after. So I'm just covering the sales aspect, talking about sales, how to identify your ideal customer profile, understanding their needs, their pain points, and what their preferences are. And this is typically what I do to engage with my clients, like during spa parties, even. I just had a spa party the other night on Monday night. I believe most of you were on that call. And so, yeah, it's interesting. Like we had maybe like seven women show up. And of course, everybody has different needs, right? And so how do you even, sell to like a group of people who have different skincare needs and goals and whatnot? So it is very individualized approach in that you do want to get to know your client on that individual level and understand what their needs are. Building relationships is very important too. Of course, we're not just here to make a sale, right? Like we're here to build relationships, establish trust so that our clients and customers can trust us with the products that we're actually sharing with them. And like once you're in this business long enough, you'll notice that your clients will, those who really love the products, they'll still come back to you time and time again to ask questions and even ask recommendations for other products eventually too. So cultivating long-term relationships is very important rather than just focusing on the immediate like transaction, right? So I love spa parties because it's more of an intimate setting. You can actually get to know the people that you're with. And typically I invite like anywhere between like 4 to 6 or 7 people at a time. And so just getting to know them is really key to help them meet their needs. And communicating effectively as well as listening effectively too, right? Because you want to understand what their needs are. Let's see. So again, just remembering that they have a problem and we do have a solution for their problem. And we do need to come from that at a standpoint because, they're looking to us for recommendations. And you're not just emphasizing on the feature of the product, right? Because like, oh my goodness, we got this new device, right? You got to try it. It has these nodules on it. It's amazing for massage, but also too, not just the features, because of course this got amazing features. The LumiSpa is an amazing technology, but also talking about its benefits, right? Like, why is it amazing? Why is it amazing to you also? Like, because you've used it, right? So you want to share your own testimony. And when you're sharing your own testimony and you're coming from a personal perspective, of course, it takes the pressure off of this, being a salesperson. So I like to focus on sharing my own testimony as well. And then demoing the product, right? Demoing the product is super important. So you know how Alan always says demo, right? And so I've been getting back into more demonstrating the products instead of just doing a service because, as an esthetician, people come to me and they come and they expect me to give them a facial and, it's nice and everything, but it's a totally different experience. Like I honestly have more fun doing spa parties. I've been learning that more and more so, and I'll share it with you in just a moment, some pictures and some videos that we've had to give you an idea of what we did and how I actually, did the demos too. And everybody's different. So I think it's kind of cool to see what we're all doing and share that. And then, so yeah, aside from problem solving and positioning yourself as, the professional and knowing that you can help to address your customer's problem, you also want to know how to handle objections, right? Because there's always going to be objections. I think Grant may have touched on it before too. Like there's always the same objections, and just knowing how to handle them and being prepared to address them is really important too, because you want to turn these objections into opportunities to provide more information and to give value to them so that the client can understand better like whether it's how the product benefits them, or just handling any kind of questions that they might have. And I think, there's always the same, I notice it's always the same objection though. It's either financial, it's either, oh, are you guys an MLM? Like all these objections, right? But there are definitely ways to handle them. And one thing that my mentor always taught me is to just say, perfect, like perfect, that's awesome. It's good to have objections, right? It's actually really good to handle them up front and to handle them right away. And if you don't know the answer to their objections, you can always say, what a great question that is. Let me please go find out and I will get right back to you. Because the clients and customers really do appreciate your honesty. But also knowing that, hey, they're going to go find the answer for me and I can trust that this person's going to get back to me. And then in that case, go call your upline, right? Because they have a lot of those answers and they've handled way more objections for the most part. I got a question. Oh, I love this. Okay. Let's see. So when you do a spa party, what's the order of all the products you're always using during your spa party? Perfect. That's a great question. Thank you for asking that. Let me just show you photos. Let me see if I can share my screen. So I'll show you my setup here. So my setup, this is kind of fun actually. Let's see if I can open this. And we got some great sales too, by the way. Don't forget about the new sales that we just got. There you go. Perfect. Can you guys see this?
You're sharing your desktop. You have to share the folder in the preview.
Share the folder. Okay, good.
Or share a preview.
Good to know. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to get out of this screen. So do I go back to my...
On the top or bottom where it says share, you can either hit stop sharing or switch and just kind of do it again.
Okay, sorry. Let me try that again, guys. Sorry about that. Let's see. Okay, I'm on share my this. Can you see that? Did I do it?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, cool. Thank you for bearing with me. Okay, so I don't even know what video this is, but I'm going to play this just because this is the only one that popped up so far. Oh, okay, so I'm actually applying the serum at this point. Well, let me see if I can find that other video.
Just because it's kind of like you're doing spa open. And honestly, like, it's, how much it costs to get a facial, right? I mean, it's just getting a spa for yourself and doing it twice a day daily, you're already getting your money's worth.
I love this one. That's a great one of her. So she's actually she's a aspiring esthetician. So she's in training to get her license at the moment. So I was just kind of sharing with her how she can utilize a LumiSpa for herself and for her clients, which is actually a really great idea because, again, they're getting their own testimonial, right? Okay, and then, sorry, let me try to see if I can share my other. Let me exit out of this and then go to share a screen again. And then, hang on. This is my setup. But let me see if I can share that. Wow, it's not sharing that. Hang on. Oops. Okay, how do I do that again?
So just hit cancel share and then
Yep.
share again and just choose the image that you want.
So do I have
Once
to
you hit
click?
share, it should ask you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Voila. Okay. So thanks. Sorry, I'm gonna have to ask you again, but I'll try. So this is my setup. So I wanted to focus on the Lumi Spa today. And so again, let me just address who my clients were. So my clients I actually had, or my customers were actually, 4 of them were estheticians. So typically I don't bring all of this stuff, but because I was demoing on estheticians and wanted to share with them, what they can utilize in their spa setting, I brought pretty much everything. But typically I would bring the Lumi Spa and I would definitely do a half face demo for the Lumi. And then depending on time or how interested they are, I will demo the facial spa as well, half face again. And then I'll also follow up with the serum depending on their skin type. And then I'll also follow up with the moisturizer as well. And then I'll take the before and after photo. So as you can see, I have not just the Lumi, but I have all the Nutricentials pumps, which I'm loving the pump so far. And don't forget, today starts the 50% off sale for the vitamin C pump, which is amazing. I've been using that too. I really like the vitamin C texture, and yeah, it feels really good on the skin. And let's see, I even brought Boost. I brought Boost because I thought it'd be fun to just bring as an additional thing, but I don't typically promote that, or I don't do demos with that. I actually use it on myself a lot, and I use it in my services just because we don't sell it here in the US market. Let's see. And then of course I have my my Well Spa, of course. And again, I won't go through all of them. It just kind of depends on the client or the customer, what their needs are. But I will share the Well Spa, of course, with every demo that I do, just because it's something new and it's kind of like having the first iPhone, right? Like, it's super exciting. So yeah, so there's that. And then let me see if I can open this other video real quick. But yeah, any other questions? Did that answer that? Let me see. Yeah, and then what I would start off with is, I mean, if you only have a Lumi Spa and a serum and a moisturizer, I mean, that's great. That's like pretty much what you would use on yourself anyway, right? Does anybody else use other products in their demos that I didn't mention?
Sometimes if I used to do gentle cleansing tone. Gentle cleansing tone on the hand is a really good one if you don't have a Lumi Spa on you.
Yep.
Even 180 face wash. You could actually even do a demo. I used to do a demo of 180 face wash in like iodine. With iodine, that way the people can see the difference and do like a little demonstration that way.
Yeah.
I have a question. Do you ever get that like products are maybe like too expensive, or kind of like, what is the biggest objection that you possibly get?
Yeah,
when you're doing demos and talking to people?
You know what? I do get that one a lot. Like, oh, this is way too expensive, or this is outside of my budget, right? So if I know that they love the Lumi Spa and they like really, really want one, and I could tell they want one, right? But they just are like, I can't afford it right now. I do a couple of things. I do ask them to host a party, spa party. And I do let them know that, if they get like 4 friends that they purchase on retail, of course, you would make that retail profit. And so they can use that money towards their own Lumi Spa. So I've had people do that before to help offset the cost. And then also another thing, I believe in certain countries, they do payment plans. I don't think all though, but yeah, so those 2 things that I'll do that. I got another question. Did that answer your question, Grant?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Cool. So Gabriella's asking, what specific questions do you ask when talking to a customer? Like, what do they need? Yeah. And what do you say to people who say we all are going to age? They respond to me and I don't need it and I don't put anything. Okay. Yeah. So the first one, what do I ask when talking to a customer? Like, what do they need? So I ask them, I'll say, what are your skin goals, or what are your main 3 skin concerns? And from there, usually they'll say they'll have dry skin, or if they have acne, or if they have, fine lines and wrinkles. And then I'll kind of prioritize too, like, okay, what's your number one skin concern out of the three, right? Because sometimes if they do have scarring, but they have acne, you want to typically address the acne first before you address the scarring, because no sense to do the scarring if they still have existing breakouts. So nourishing the skin first and foremost, and then also asking questions like how often do you drink water, or walk me through your skincare regimen, like what are you using at the moment is a good question to ask. And also, have you been do you like the results that you're getting with your current skincare line? And typically the answer is no, or like, oh, I don't know, I haven't really seen results yet, and it's been like 3 months since I've been using it. In that case, obviously the product is not working for them, and so I invite them to try our product for 30 days. If they're not happy, they can return it. No, you know what I mean? If they have any questions or reactions, they can return it within the 30 days. But yeah, those are typically the questions that I'll ask them to kind of figure out what they would need. And then it says, so people who don't feel like they don't need anything. Yeah, that's a tricky one, only because I feel like everybody needs our products.
Yeah, absolutely, they do.
Right?
I would love to answer that one actually.
Yeah, please go for it, Grant.
Yeah, but I definitely get that one. I definitely get that one as well. And so what I do is I show them my picture of my mom, and I just say, you're absolutely right. We are going to age, but aging.
About 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. So you said 25. But
Oh,
you're amazing.
5 minutes.
Okay. And so what I tell them, I just show them a picture of my mom, and I just say, hey, I totally understand. We're all going to age. The key is that if we can age gracefully, and wouldn't that be amazing if you could grow old but feeling young, like feel young at an old age? And people are like, what? Like, they don't really believe it. So I actually have to show them my mom's photo. And I say, look, this is my mom, 5 months of taking the supplements. Now this is 5 years of taking the product. And she went from a cane, sciatic nerve pain. So my point of that is, if you can find testimonies and get good backup data and stories, right? If you can collect stories of people that said, that people like my mom, that like Leilani's mom, like Reina's mom, like get mom testimonies. Those are the best, because no one can argue with you saying that my mom is younger now and here's a photo. Like, no one can argue with me. I'm like, here's my mother, 5 years and 5 months and then 5 years. And everyone's like, she looks amazing. I go, she's 77. They're like, I want what she has. Like, and I just tell her, I go, you're right. She's going to keep aging. She's going to be 78, but she doesn't have a cane. She has a 100% clean bill of health. Like, so I have all these benefits of using these products. So, I don't go into a full tangent, but I just wanted to give you guys different angles of that same topic of aging gracefully.
Yes, those before and after photos of your mom are amazing. And actually, I've sold a lot of product just sharing that. So thank you. Thank you to your mom too. Oh my gosh, it's just such an amazing before and after as well. And that's why it's so important to take before and afters and have your testimonials to share as well. But yeah, that's so cool. It says, so Michelle is saying, Grant, showing us your mom's before and afters in California are amazing. That's awesome. And then I have other questions. So let's see, did I skip that? So Michelle asked, I've had someone say that to me. So I asked, who do you know who will be interested and is needing help with their skin? And then they provide her with names. Perfect. Yeah, that's a great one too. And that's basically, tapping, like kind of like driving the line, right? But then you're asking questions like, oh, well, who do you know who has issues with whether it's like wrinkles or aging or acne, right? So that's great. And then they can give you referrals. That's a great way. And with spa parties too, like typically, like once you do the spa party, you want to invite everybody to host their own party as well, and get their top 5 name list if you can do that too. Like if you're working with somebody as a a new brand affiliate. And then at the end of the demos, let's see, sorry, I want to go back to this before I forget. For which serum and moisturizer do you use? So Vicentia asked this. So just to answer your question, again, the serums that I have, like I do have a lot of ageLOC serums, and then I just recently got the Nutricential pumps line. So it just kind of depends on the client. But I noticed that the biggest result is demoing the ageLOC products. I noticed that there's like an immediate result with those products as well. But even like with the Nutricentials, at least they can feel it, and there's definitely a result of you can feel right after as well. But for more anti-aging, I would say the ageLOC. What do you think, Grant? Are you able to add on to that?
Yeah, definitely. So I just look for simple things that like I have a couple of different patterns. Like my main one would be like LumiSpa, ageLOC, pearls, and then the like ageLOC moisturizer. That's the first one.
Yep.
My second thing that I would recommend is say, okay, LumiSpa, of course, with like the Nutricential serums and Nutricential's moisturizer. And then the last thing I'd recommend, if none of that works, then I would either go gentle cleanse and tone depending on their age and needs, or 180 face wash, and then find those Nutricential serums or Celtrix, and then go with moisturizers again. I just have 3 that I use depending on their age and their budget. That's really it.
Exactly. And like narrowing it down, because we have so many products too. So stick to like 3 of your favorites, in the beginning, and then, use it for yourself. And then also it's easier to promote it that way too. But yay, that's so awesome, Denise. She took her first picture today back on her LumiSpa. That's awesome. Yeah, don't forget to take an after photo too. And then Gabriella asks for referrals, but she doesn't get nothing sometimes. And that does happen, right? In that case, sorry, I can't read the rest of that question. She doesn't get nothing else. Okay. But yeah, just kind of asking questions. Like I always ask for the 3 main, skin concerns. And then also in that case, asking about the money situation, going back to forum, right? Because it's like you want to know the person, you want to know what they do for a living, their family, their occupation, their motivation or money, and that kind of stuff too. Because at the end of the demo at the spa parties, I will offer the presentation too. So I'll talk about the business. I'll talk about, I'll ask them to join my team, and I'll invite them to another Zoom call with Grant. So I actually have my upline, my sponsor, come with me and like do a 3-way call, and we jump on a 3-way call together. And he pretty much presents a lot of the other side that I'm not too familiar with. But getting familiarized with the compensation plan is definitely something that I would highly recommend too, as I'm always doing that. I feel like I'm always learning. Every day there's always something to learn, right? But basically, yeah. Lorene says she also uses, I go by the age also, millennials use Nutricentials line. So the older people should use as ageLOC transformation system, TFEU Ultra and uplifting cream. Perfect. Yeah, I do that as well. And I'm excited also because we just recently got back our triphasic bright line. So that's exciting too, because a lot of people here in Hawaii, they typically struggle with, the dark spots, the hyperpigmentation. And so now that we have the vitamin C, Nutricential serum, as well as the triphasic bright line, that's also another great tool to have in your kit. Has anybody tried that one yet? Triphasic white bright. They changed the name. Triphasic bright.
Is that the triphasic white that changed to white bright or whatever it's called?
Yeah, bright. I was looking for it online today and I was like, it's nowhere to be found. And then I looked and I was like, oh, triphasic bright. I was putting in white, but it's triphasic bright. Yeah, that's the new one that they just relaunched. They had it a while back and then they took it off the market for some reason, and then they probably reformulated and brought it back. So I'm excited for that too, because there's a lot of people who struggle with hyperpigmentation.
Have you guys had good results with it? Because one of my young millennials asked me if she should get it, but I usually recommend what I know has worked. Or I've seen other people, and that one I've seldom heard or seen anything. Have you guys gotten great results from it? So
yeah, that's a great question to ask. Are you on here, Grant? I know he has a lot of other people, or even Manny. Manny, have you had any experience with the triphasic line yet? Or Clara?
Yeah, because I compare it to the 180 face wash. Because I haven't had much, I usually kind of steer them away from something that I don't know much about, and then they use it like for a whole month and nothing works. So I always like to kind of recommend things that I know for sure works on me, works on similar people depending on who's asking me. But yeah, the 180 face wash works pretty good.
Yeah. And not a lot of people can use the 180 face wash. And I always look at the ingredient list too, like what's the main ingredient, right? And so for the 180 face wash, it's a 10% active vitamin C, right? And so because it's super potent and concentrated, not a lot of people who have sensitive skin can use it. However, it's great for acne as well. Because it's vitamin C, but also vitamin C is a natural skin lightener. It's also an antioxidant and vitamin for the skin. But as far as a triphasic bright, it's more targeted towards like hyperpigmentation. So I forget the ingredient that was in it, but it's very different because of the ingredients. Michelle, I think she asked that, is like, what's the difference? And so the ingredients is the difference. So vitamin C compared to the active ingredient in the triphasic. And I looked at the ingredients in the triphasic and I didn't see anything crazy, like nothing harsh or anything like that. So I'm excited to start using that one too and recommending that to my clients. But I always look at the ingredients and that's how I know the difference, like what to recommend to clients. But typically the 180 cleanser more so great for like the younger youthful generations, and then I would say the triphasic for more so people who have like the melasma going on and like what do you call, like just from sun exposure. But you can try, trial and error. And then I think that we should be getting some before and afters soon. I think I might have seen a couple, not very many, but maybe if you look online on SmugMug, they might have some. But that's always a good resource to check out too, is the SmugMug, because it comes from the company as well. And then sometimes if you can go on like social media, like Instagram, they also have, like Nu Skin posts, new products and stuff. So keep an eye out because there might be some there too, or check with your upline. Yeah. Okie dokie. I know it's getting to that time. I don't want to keep you guys too long. But yeah, just to, let's see, remind everybody, there are 3 products that went on sale today, including the vitamin C from the Nutricential Pump line, and then also the, oh my goodness, the recovery, oh my gosh, Celtrex Recovery Serum. Sorry, there's Celtrex Recovery Serum. It's just a really great one too, for acne scarring, skin renewal, cell renewal. That's a really great one. And then one of my favorites is the polishing bar. That's a really good one. And SmugMug has a video. I don't know if anybody saw it, but it's like a science video that explains the benefits about the polishing bar. So if you get a chance, check out SmugMug. It's all 50 off. So make sure you get on that. It's great for Christmas gifts too, and any, youth that you're looking to do some Christmas shopping for. But other than that, thanks so much for joining us on the call today. And thank you, Grant, for setting me up here. And hope you guys are enjoying Disney. I don't know if he jumped off or not, but he's at Disney World. That's so awesome. Thank you, everybody. So we'll see you guys on Friday's call, which is we're going to be covering more products. And I think we had some homework assigned to some of you guys. So just do some research and maybe we'll discuss more about products too, for sure, on Friday. So have a great rest of your week, guys. Aloha.
Aloha. Thank you so much. It was fabulous training.
I appreciate the feedback.
Thank you, Leilani.
You're so welcome. Aloha, everybody.